welcome to Love in the Time of Hydra, the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. 10th anniversary podcast. We cheated a little and split the two-part season finale into 2 episodes, which means technically it's still May 12th, and I already told you what was happening on this day 10 years ago, so we're going to jump right into it. I'm Jamie Girak, and I'm here with my co-host boyfriend, and I think we can say it, level 3 Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. fan, Tony Folletto.
Can we actually?
That, Tony?
We can really do. We don't have to start the next season.
You've graduated. You've finished season 2. I think you were officially a level 3 agent.
Oh my God, you guys. I didn't know I was getting promoted today. This feels great. I feel great. But I am really disarmed to be talking so soon. Like, it's very strange for you not to tell us what was going on 10 years ago, but like, I'll adjust.
Yeah, we did that. We have one of our favorite guests returning today for the finale. You know him as the host of Slayer Fest 98. Carlos Crawford is here.
Hi.
Yeah.
Hey, buddy.
I'm happy to be here. Thanks for having me. I'm always happy when it's like, oh, he's been here a lot. I feel like I'm like
yeah,
well established.
Yeah, a fan favorite, if you will. Ian, so we were talking about this before we started, but we realized like you've been on our Patreon this year to talk about Firefly, but you have not joined us at all for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. season 2. I think the last episode you did was Only Light in the Darkness with Amy Acker in season 1.
Yes, I think that was. Yeah, you're right. Because I couldn't remember either when I was like rewatching this, and I was like, God, so much happened since the last time I was on this podcast.
Yeah, how is that? Because you're jumping at the very end. You're like a whole year later. What was it like to just did you watch part 1 as well, or did you just do part 2?
I just did part 2 because I like to have it like right in my brain, and I was like, if I want more, I'm gonna like. But the hilarious thing was, I was like, who is that guy we're seeing? He's kind of cute. He's not Lincoln because he's not on the show yet, right? Oh, that was Lincoln. I was like, oh, all right. Yeah, that is it.
You would think Lincoln was cute. Okay, we're just going to get into this question because there's been a lot of comparisons of Lincoln to Riley. How do you feel about that?
I can see that. I think he's much like Riley. I think he's like attractive but boring.
Okay, yeah, fair.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm getting definite strong vibes that Lincoln's going to keep being on this show. And I'm like, okay.
Okay.
I forgot, is he in the whole season this season?
No.
Season 2? No, he didn't show up until like the latter quarter of it, I would say. The 4th quarter is what I'm going to say. I want to say a huge thank you to everyone who has joined us for all of season 2, whether it was live in the chat or later on Spotify or YouTube or wherever you listen to your podcasts. Our season 3 coverage on the main pod will be back September 28th. It feels so far away. That's so far away. But we'll be filling that gap on Patreon. We hope to see you over there. We still got to finish Firefly. We got 2 episodes in the movie left. We're starting Dollhouse. Deachin may be dead on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. We got lots of Deachin to go on Dollhouse. And of course, we are also going to be celebrating this summer the 10th anniversary of Ant-Man. Only $1 a month. That's so cheap. That's so few monies. So May 25th is when we are returning for the next episode of Firefly. So keep an eye out. Tony, for the last time this season, do you want to tell the chat the rules?
Oh my gosh, yeah. Tag your spoilers. Just put spoiler alert if you're going to say anything in the comments regarding anything that happens beyond the episode we're talking about today. That protects me from not having this show spoiled for me, and it protects people like me who are hopefully enjoying this show in sequence, brand new, fresh, same as I am. So tag spoilers or producer Maria will stab you. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those are all facts. SOS Part 2 does not have the same writer-director as Part 1. It was written by Jedmo and directed by Billy Gerhardt, who this was his 5th of 11 episodes. We've seen his stuff before. We got that whole cast back. We're thriving here. Ian, what are your general thoughts on this episode? How is it as a season finale for you?
Okay, I feel like every time you have me on, I'm like, I like this show, but I'm not a fan of the Inhumans plot they do, at all. I don't like Grant Ward. He at this point on the show, I am
who does?
But at this point on the show, I'm like, what are we doing with him? Why is he still here? I hate that he has the freaking kicker at the end when he's like, I want to, and I'm like, go away. But that being said, one of my favorite episodes is earlier in the season. One of my favorite fight scenes probably in the whole show is May versus May earlier.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
right there? Okay, I was like, wait, did I just spoil something? Yeah,
No,
that's
no,
one of my
that
like
happened.
favorite fight scenes of like when she slams the head on the. It's so good. So like while I hate Grant Ward, I like the stuff we get in season 2 with like that plot. I still don't even quite understand Agent whatever that gets shot in this episode. I'm like, all right, she doesn't just look like May. She has a face.
Yeah.
Mhm, mhm.
But I like all of that more than I like the Inhuman stuff. Like Dejan is great, but I feel like she's a little underused in this role. Like I kind of think they don't give her enough like fun stuff to do.
Well, she was tortured and torn apart, so she's not really a barrel of laughs.
Well, no, I mean like even like villain stuff. Like there's no like, oof, like we're getting this like grand. I don't know. It's kind of. I feel like she just kind of is like, yeah. I don't know, but I like seeing the thing I do like about this, which this season I feel like picks up on is like we're in the Marvel universe, so we're seeing more like powers, which makes sense. Like what is it? Is it the end of season? In my brain, that's like drawn out when Ruth Nega. When does she's not on the show?
She dies in part 1, so she just died.
Okay,
yeah, Giant
but
kills
like
her. Yeah,
leading up to her, it felt like we were gonna do something wild with her, and then it almost felt like that actor was like, "No, I quit," because it was weird that they like killed her. Because it felt like we had been leading up to something really big with her.
yeah, but it does. I feel like we do get that because like she gets what she wanted, and her final ending is seeing what Jiang's going to do and dying in front of Sky for that purpose. But I get what you're saying. We need a little pushback sometimes in the show. We can't be 100% positive all the time.
So you have me.
Yeah, we love that.
Push
Tony.
back Crawford.
Yeah. We need that on a t-shirt. Tony, thoughts on the finale of this episode? How did you think about this wrap up? Also I just want to say, Tony, at the end, I do have a lot of general questions for you regarding this season and your journey, but right now, just general thoughts on this episode.
Okay, cool. Yeah, all right. So I won't do a season 2 wrap up, but I like this episode. It all came together pretty tidily, I'd say. I also hate Ward. I'm excited to see who he blames for Kara's death, other than himself. I like McLaughlin. He looks less freakish. Like in the last episode, I was complaining about his physical transformation, and then as he got a little less enraged, they dialed back the special effects makeup on him, so he's not. Which I am glad they did. I think I really enjoyed Coulson and Mac and Fitz fighting.
Gordon.
What do they call it? Gordon? Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of good stuff in here. It's not. I don't think I liked it as much as the season 1 finale, but I thought it was good. I wasn't really surprised by anything except the very end. But yeah, it was good.
Fair. I love this finale. It's one of my favorite finales. There's so much about it that I enjoy. I love Cal saving Sky, and I love just how it comes together. The Fitzsimmons mending, but of course that goes south. We'll talk about that later. But I'm a big fan of this one. I love season 2. Season 2 is probably my second favorite season. There's just so much going on that I really enjoy. But this episode specifically, we pick up right where the last one ends. Coulson pins Cal basically and convinces him like, your wife's a monster, but you're not. Like, I need your help to save your daughter. Tony, how'd you feel about this? Did you think it was too quick to get him to turn, or do you think Coulson gave a good enough Coulson speech?
He gave a good enough Coulson speech. That all felt pretty organic to me. Did you notice that he was pinning the car against Cal using that automated battering ram that they used to bust open Fury's SUV in Winter Soldier?
That is what that was. Good clock,
yeah.
Tony.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, be impressed with me.
I'm so impressed with you.
Always.
Okay.
Ian, how do you feel about this like Cal turn in the beginning?
Yeah, I felt like from what I remember of the season in general, I remember just being like, can we just let him be like cooler? Like it felt like this made sense for his character, I think. That he would I almost felt like he would have turned sooner even. Like it felt like we knew that this was coming or it needed to come, that he would have so I was totally fine with it being like, all right, you're pinned against Car, so you have to shut up and you can't really do much and you're going to listen to Coulson. So, and he like always had the, like, he never felt like a capital B bad guy.
Yeah.
God, I love him so much. So Mac basically rescues Sky on the boat. And in my notes, I'm like, he calls her Trevor. It's cute because we love a Mac nickname. He loves giving nicknames. But then he starts getting accusatory. And then I wrote, ugh. Like, Mac really comes through in this episode, but like, he just sometimes he needs to chill with the accusations. And I do like, though, Tony, how do you feel about this? That like he wants her to use her hacker skills. Like, she still has that skill. We haven't seen that in a while.
Yeah. It was nice. I'm very, very proud of Mac in general in this episode. All the way up to the, dismembering an arm. I'm really think he just kind of crushed it. Like he did really, really good work. And yeah, he's, we talked about last episode how it was kind of a bummer for him to be like, I'm out. And I'm like, oh, but then just before he's out, he gets brought back in and he's proved himself essential. I like that they, he's like, I'm going to do this with an axe. And I'm like, okay, buddy. But then he kind of made the point. He's like, yeah, you don't want to be shooting guns at this guy in the closed space. I was like, all right, cool. Good weapon choice, Mac.
Mm-hmm. Any Mac thoughts, Ian?
No, I like his nicknames. I was like, oh, right. I forget that sometimes she's also a hacker when he's like, yeah, that's not the skill I need. I need you to do some hacking. I was like, right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We need to take this opportunity to pour one out for our dear friend, Beardy McOrson-Wells, who tragically died by the hand of Jiaying and her crystals. It was like a bunch of red shirts, but then this guy that we keep seeing these last few episodes, who no one knows his name. He seems to be important. He dies with 3 other characters. But this was the first time that I'm like, oh, Beardy's gone.
Beardy's gone. Well, we spent so much time just loving his character and enjoying his arc as Beardy McOrson-Wells, and finally he bailed on us.
Did you recognize him at all? Like, did you clock this man when he got killed? Were you like, I've seen him in other episodes? Because you have seen him in other episodes. Yeah, exactly.
I will say, this show sometimes had that a lot, where it's like, there's like a gaggle of like regular humans that we're kind of see sometimes, but like yeah, because I know that woman is someone. I was like, okay, I recognize this lady.
Oh yeah, yes. Weaver.
Yeah.
So May and Hunter go to save Bobby. Ian, like, this is like we kind of compared this to a saw trap last week.
Yeah.
Like, this is like a scary scene where Bobby ultimately like leans in and gets herself shot. As someone who's seen it before, though, because I was still feeling the tension. Were you feeling that this watch?
Yeah. I was like, wait, I know she gets shot, but I was like, I couldn't remember the like that she threw herself. But like, I love Bobby so much. I think like it's a bummer that a character like, I mean, all these characters I would love to see interact, and not even like, I feel like you do, Jamie, where it's like, not even just because it's like, oh, the show has to be canon, but just because like they deserve that respect of being able to like interact. But like, she is Mockingbird, and I would have really liked to see this character interacting with the Avengers, because she's like, her and May were like steady my faves for most of the show. And I remember watching this being like, oh no, like we're gonna kill, like I really thought we were gonna kill one of them. And when she got shot, even this time around, I had the like, wait, is she? No, I know she's not dead. Like, I watched this show before, but I had a moment where I was like, oh my God, she dies. And then it was like, wait, no, Ian, you've seen this.
Come on. Adrian recently said in an interview that back then she did have talks with Marvel about potentially being in the movies, and she didn't really specify why it fell through. And there'll be some like more talks about her greater Marvel stuff later in the year. But Tony, when she got shot, you went, ooh.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't think she was gonna die. I just thought like, oh, that fucking sucks. She's really good. I mean, yeah, I'm with you, Ian. I love Bobby. She's awesome. So I was concerned for her, and I felt bad for Hunter, and I felt bad for the two of them. That was a really mean thing to do, Grant Ward. You fuck.
I don't know if you know this, Grant, but that was kind of mean.
Yeah,
that was mean,
you.
Grant. You need to think about your actions.
Go in the corner. Speaking of Ward, he kills Kara on accident.
Yeah, he does. Shoot her 3 times in the stomach.
Tony goes, whoops. Did you think for a second that he shot May, or did you for that split second?
No.
Okay.
Oh, maybe. Maybe for a second I did. But once it was 3 shots directly to the gut in fast sequence, I was like, oh no, that can't be May, because you die from that. That's death. So I was like, oh, he killed Kara, and I'm just. Kara is a pretty tragic character. R.I.P. Kara. It was nice having Maya on this show to talk about her, but she's a tragic character. It does suck that she's dead, but I'm delighted that Ward did this to himself and to her, because this is just the exact fallout of him sucking all the time and making bad choices and being a fuck. So it's this is what you get, and I'm just he's gonna turn around and be like, this is Melinda May's fault. I'm really excited for the development of him to be like,
I don't even remember, but I feel like you're correct.
Of course, that's what he does. It's never his fault.
He's not gonna blame himself for anything.
No.
Come on. I also want to shout out Nick Blood for carrying Adrian, because she's a very big woman. And he's kind of a smaller dude. And he fucking did that with ease. I was like, all right, bro, you got some muscle on you.
Yeah, he lifted some weights, I think.
Yeah. All right. So then we've got Gordon and Lincoln talking in front of I think we can now call it what it is, the monolith. Once it sucks up Gemma, we can give it a name. It's called a monolith. We have to call out. So Lincoln's kind of that murder was bad. Yeah, buddy, that was bad murder. You shouldn't do that. But we also have to shout out the Mac line to Scott. I thought my mom was bad when she started watching Fox News, which is this is a 10-year-old episode. And nothing's ever been more relevant than that line, I think.
Yeah, it's kind of gotten worse.
Yeah. I think everyone on this show can relate to a family member falling down that deep rabbit hole.
Sure can.
Sorry, Mac, we feel your pain. So Fitz found a way to trap Gordon. They're bringing in Bobby. Well, one thing that I like when they bring in Bobby, May, I love this scene for May because she's just so sad about her friend being and then she calls Andrew. It feels like we learn later they drink a bottle of scotch. Tony, do you sense a rekindling of romance here?
I mean, you're kind of queuing me up to believe there's going to be a rekindling of some romance here. I just thought that, she needed a little support, and she called her ex-husband because she knew he'd answer and he'd make her feel a little bit better. And so, yeah, I guess.
All right, great. Thanks for that input. Ian, any thoughts on this, kind of, Bobby's really hurt. She calls Andrew. How do you feel about Andrew? Blair Underwood.
I like him. Because I feel like I've said this before. I know people from season 1 were shipping May and Coulson. I always like May and Coulson better as friends who respect and love each other, but friends. So I kind of like the addition of a guy who also has a past with him, and we're kind of maybe they'll rekindle, maybe they won't, but I prefer that over trying to be maybe May and Coulson. I'm no, get that out of here. I'd prefer there to be a third option, a secret third option. That's what I want. And so I'm glad that that's there. I like that there's no weirdness with it. Him and Coulson are kind of cool. There's no ooh, May is, mine or whatever, chest puffing.
That would suck.
Yeah, that'd be annoying. And that's easy for shows to do. I feel like they love doing that. Mm-hmm. So, I'm May deserves mature, handsome men in her life. So,
yeah.
Word to it.
I'm always a fan of ex-spouses rekindling something because that's such a, screwball comedy kind of a setup, and we get so much from Bobby and Hunter. We love a rich history, so we'll see. I don't know. They shared a bottle of scotch. I don't know if that means that they'll be rekindling or not. I guess we'll find out next season. What else happens? Oh, we get kind of a Lincoln versus Sky moment, and I like that she's finally getting through to him, and Mac just nothing.
Yeah, no, that was correct. Max, I'm not great. Like how you got him to understand our point of view for a minute. In any moment that he could have another interaction with Jai Ying or the multiplying girl or something. And this guy is so, Lincoln is such a nothing that he's so malleable that, around the next corner, he can have maybe I do believe in Jai Ying. So I think I respect Mac knocking him out. He goes, found a drill. Like, I really like that.
And he's like, what does he say? Like, I'm gonna like crack skulls, take like something later.
Something
I
like that.
Yeah.
Because also that does make sense. He's just like, no, wait, I don't have time to stop and talk.
No, he's like literally like John McClane with boat. Like he's got to keep on moving on. Speaking of romance, we've got this moment where Simmons is like, we never really spoke about what you said to me at the bottom of the ocean. And Tony, you literally said out loud when she said that, holy shit. And I don't know, is that because it took an entire season for them to talk about it? Is it because you were excited they were talking about it? What was going through your head when you said holy shit out loud?
It was a combination of two things. It was the fact that they're talking about it and that she chose this moment. Because even Fitz has that same reaction. Now. We're doing this now. And I'm like, he's literally getting his gear to go on a mission. And I get her feeling. It's like, will this be the only chance she gets? And just these two cannot get, she got ate by a thing. These two cannot get their shit together. They cannot get synchronized, even because when an alien rock is sucking you into God knows where. Oh boy, I suffered from that one.
As happens.
Yeah,
it happens. You can't go on Craigslist and do a misconnections for alien rock eating you.
I do love though when she's like, maybe there is, like when he says nothing to discuss, and like she just like kind of like cries a little. She's so worried about him. But I need to know, Tony, though, where are you in the shipping lane? Are you shipping them, or do you want this to happen now? You've been so back and forth.
I'm shipping them now more than I ever have. Because I feel like they need each other in ways that are very, very deep and significant. I think that they really, really do, and so yeah, I'm hopeful for a future for them.
I like that. Ian, any Fitzsimmons thoughts?
It took me a while to ever come around because they always read as straight lady and queer guy best friends to me.
Okay.
Like, season 1, like I remember thinking like that's what we were supposed to assume he was gay. Like that's what I thought. So it was really hard to like rewire my brain to be like, no, they're like, there's a thing there.
That was exactly me and Mac. That was literally what my brain did with Mac. I never felt that way about Fitz, but I did with Mac. I think that's just like, I've said this many times. My biggest issue with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is like, there's no really like big queer character. So I understand how like you and I would try to force it. Like, that sounds like us. Ian, how did you feel about how like Alicia, the who can double herself a bunch, the Sky fight? Because I feel like this fight had the potential to maybe be better. And what did you think about that?
Yeah, because I like it and I like where we're going with it, but then it kind of like, it's weird because it feels like we're like doing a build up and then it kind of like stops and then they're like, oh, there's probably more of her coming. But like, if she's just in the room on that platform, I'm like, well, what the hell were you doing? Like, I didn't quite get that. And I felt like it had cool parts, but then it kind of fizzled out.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. The previous episode, the moment where we see her use her power is like, whoa, this is really cool. And then I was also a little let down by how effectively they used this device they introduced.
Mm-hmm. Is she based on anyone in the comics? Do you know?
I don't think so.
No clue.
I don't think she is. And I've always felt this way. That she's like, they created this really cool character and just didn't use her to her full potential. Because we will see her again, spoiler alert, but like just not in a cool enough way, in my opinion. And I don't really love like the slow motion that was going on in this fight. Did you either of you have any opinions about that?
I didn't really clock it.
I did, because when she hits her and she turns around, I was like, what was that face? Because she just kind of is like, and then collapses. And I did think it was a little weird. I don't usually mind the slow motion. Sometimes they overuse it a little bit, but like here and there, I don't mind it. But yeah, sometimes I'm like, we didn't need to do that.
Yeah.
I always wonder if that's a budget thing to make it look cooler because they're like, oops, that didn't turn out that well. Let's slow motion it so it'll look cool.
That's fair. That's a good point. I like that Lincoln and May together save Sky. I do like that Lincoln comes around. I appreciate him for that. Like I really like when he says, like to May, we're not bad, we're misled. And it's true. And like, there's, I'm sure there are some, like Gordon was always going to be Jiang's right hand, right?
Yeah. Gordon was the one that I kind of like. But I guess we kind of play his death off like it wasn't, they weren't trying to kill him. Like he kind of teleports himself into, what even is that? Is it like a crowbar? I don't even know.
It was like a piece of metal. It wasn't like a pointy thing either. He just was suddenly inside of him because he teleported. Yeah, which is cool.
Talk more about that when we get to it because I really.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
No, that's okay. You're allowed to jump around a little. But so much happens. Where are we in my Tony, you laughed really hard when Cal came back and said, "Hi, honey."
I did. He's so good. I just love Kyle MacLachlan and all that he does in this show. Yeah, it was a great line because it was kind of apologetic and kind of sweet, and he knew he was going to be in trouble with her, and it's just like it was a very loaded line delivery. I liked it.
Speaking of line deliveries, we've got what is considered probably Fitz's most famous line, but I think you hated it, which is "Science biatch."
Oh yeah, it didn't really do anything for me.
You groaned a little when he said that.
That's a dumb line.
Yeah,
it's written to be funny.
Pretty sure it's on T-shirts. Like that is like truly one of like his most iconic line of the series. Did you have any reaction to that?
This episode had a couple of moments like that where I was like, oh, right, that's from this episode.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple of like weirdly like standout iconic moments that like are iconic that have nothing to do with the episode or the plot. It's just like a moment. And I feel like that is one that I remember seeing like on like Tumblr and shit and stuff like that.
Very Tumblr.
Yeah, I like it because I feel like it matches with him because he's just like kind of a nerd and he's like trying to like he has to be in the fight, so he's there. So that's all he can come up with, and I like it. I don't know, but I understand. There's a world in which I understand. Yeah, like being like.
Yeah, it's cute. It's Fitz. Like, and it's nice to see Fitz get some wins. I'm
happy he got a win.
Yeah, and we do have that fake out, like you guys were talking about when Gordon gets into the thing. Did you think that Fitz was stabbed there for a minute, Tony? Because I feel like you did say "oh shit" out loud.
I did, yeah. I thought he'd, and that was how they shot and edited it. They wanted me to think that, and I did. But I realized, when they wanted me to realize he was not stabbed. Yeah, even if he had been, I know we're not losing Fitz or anything, but yeah, it was a good moment.
Mm-hmm. I have seen this show, and I was like, oh, does he get stabbed in this finale? Well, I know it'll be okay. And then I was like, oh no, he's not stabbed.
No, Fitz did not get impaled. Thankfully. And we gotta talk. Okay. I'm gonna take to Ian first because Tony and I have some things to talk about here, which is Mac chopping off Coulson's hand. I think it's like what a choice. Ian, how do you feel about this?
That's like that was one of the other moments that I think stands out as like a very iconic. Like I feel like that's something that randomly shows up on my Instagram reels on either Slayer Fest or my Discover page. And yeah, I think about that a lot. And I was even like, why does he have? I know he chops off his arm in this episode. I cannot remember what. And then as soon as the crystal was flying in the air, I was like, oh, there we go. That's why he chopped. I like it. I think it's cool. It's a little bit horror-y. Like I kind of like the idea of like that, where it's like, oh, there's this infection and he's got to like chop off a body part. And like, they cut away fast enough because sometimes shows like this, I don't like when we do something like that because it's like, there would be a lot of blood if we're doing this, but they cut away as soon as it so I'm okay.
He screams.
Yeah,
he sure does.
Yeah.
So I like it.
Okay, so Tony, first, I mean, this is a surprising moment. I feel like you definitely, you had a reaction.
Yeah, my reaction is being super proud of Mac because that is a hard choice to make as quickly as he made it. He saved Coulson's life without saying, hey, Coulson, we got to lose the arm, because in the amount of time it takes you to say that, you're losing more arm. Yeah. So Mac just reacting, and because he knows what this is, he knows what it does, and him just reacting and taking that chunk was pretty cool. And yeah, I mean, fuck, Coulson could be Luke Skywalker now, you know?
And that's what I want to talk about, because 2 weeks ago we were watching Empire, and you made a joke about Luke's like hand, and I started laughing uncontrollably. And you're like, "Why are you laughing?" And I was like, "I'll tell you in a week." I couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
But that is why I was laughing uncontrollably, is because you were joking about losing hands, and we were really close to this.
We were really close to somebody very important losing a hand.
Yeah. Sorry, Coulson. So Sky and Jiaying, this whole showdown, like your mom tries to suck the life out of you. Like, that's fucked up. Ian, how do you feel about how sad this is? So she finally found her mother, and then her mother tries to kill her.
I don't know. I have like a bratty opinion on this. Just fuck. Of course I do.
Let's go.
I'm just like, she sucks. She's always sucked. Why are we caring? Just fucking earthquake her off this thing is like immediately how I feel. Because like now she is trying to kill you. So just zap her, get her out of there. And like, I appreciate that she doesn't, because I do like what actually happens, but I don't know. I get very in like, and I know this is like genre shows love doing this, where it's like, oh no, what am I going to do? Kind of in the same vein of like in a zombie movie where it's like, what am I going to do? My partner got infected. And it's like, you have to chop their head off. What do you mean? What are you going to do? That's what you have to do. Do it. And I get like that with this, especially because it's like, this isn't someone that she doesn't really have a relationship with her. And I would understand. I think it would, for me, make more sense if like, this was a mother that was always very good to her, always had a great relationship, and there's like this sudden turn of like, she like almost like, I don't know, like this is a bad comparison, but like Thanos being like, no, I do love Gamora and I'm gonna sacrifice her because I love her. Like if Jiaying had to do that, where it's like, well, the only option to win is to sacrifice my daughter, and it pains me to do it, but it didn't feel like it pained her that much. Like it felt like she was like, all right, this is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Tony, do you feel that similarly? Because I don't totally agree, so I want to know where you stand.
Okay, yeah, I agree with most of what Ian's saying. It's the fact that like her Jiaying and her daughter and her love for her daughter was, you know, once we reveal who Jiaying is, it was always a self-serving thing. It was always about Jiaying, to Jiaying, for Jiaying. And so during this scene, her saying, well, you're not on my side, so I have to consume you, is like kind of awful. And so, yeah, I wasn't feeling it as like, oh, an emotional blow. Like I've cut off any emotional feelings for Jiaying once I saw she's a liar and a double crosser and a betrayer. So I'm just kind of like, yeah, she's awful. And Sky, you know, having to make this like this final plea to her of like, don't do this. This is wrong. I'm like, yeah, kill her. Like, time to go. Like, goodbye. And so, but I really, really like that in what Sky thinks might be her final moment of life, quakes the Quinjet off of the carrier to save the world. That's her hero moment. So that's why I like this scene.
Yeah.
The scene really works for me, and I will tell you why when we come back from a quick break. Go refill your drinks if you're day drinking, or a lot of you are in the UK, so that's cool too. You know the drill. We'll be right back. to Love in the Time of Hydra. We're here with our friend Ian talking the season 2 finale of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., talking about the Sky and Jiaying of it all. It works for me, I think, because these, like you said, these two don't know each other, Ian. Like they don't really have a relationship, but Sky has spent her whole life trying to find this woman, and she's just not what she hoped for. And Jiaying, I really like when Cal's talking about Jiaying, like she used to be different. An elder used to sacrifice themselves so she could live on, and she would scream and cry, and now she just doesn't have regard anymore. Like Whitehall broke her in a way that I think it's like, she can only see in humans, on the rise now. Like, and if her daughter's even a little bit getting in the way, who gives a fuck if that's her daughter? Like, she's lived a very long time, and she knew her daughter for a very brief time. So, but ultimately, I also just love that it gives Cal the chance to save Sky. Yeah. And I love that he says, you don't have to live with the pain, I will. And then he fucking crushes his wife to death. Like, he snaps her. Ian, just like this ending for Cal, and we can jump ahead to him going through this Tahiti program and just how they wrap this up. Do you like the ending for him?
I do. I like it because of how we play it too. Like, I wouldn't have liked it if like Sky's only reaction was just like her crying over it and just being miserable. Because like, also I would understand that was the reaction, but I'm glad we play it up like she understands, she's content with that ending. So I am content with that ending because, I'm a really hard sell on a like, rekindling with family members that I don't really know, and suddenly I care so much because I have family members that I'm not rekindling with that I don't care and I don't want to rekindle with. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not someone who's very big on like, but we're family. Like, I don't know, like, all right, you are, but like, so I like this. I like that he comes in and saves her. He does something good. And like, if that's the last of him, then that's okay, because I feel like she's not losing both her parents. I'm glad that they both didn't have to die. I like what you said, Jamie. I like his line of like, I'm not going to make you live with this pain. I can live with it, so I'm going to kill her. He knew she needed to die. He wasn't incorrect. And I do think he wasn't just being self-serving. Like you mentioned, Tony, Jiaying was most of the time we saw her.
If an elder is like ritualistically submitting themselves to you for consumption, that's going to make you an egomaniac.
Right. Yeah.
Fair. Tony, how do you feel about Cal's ending and going through Tahiti and everything like that?
It's wonderful. I loved it. I love Cal's finish. It was, I mean, I remember the episode a few episodes ago. I don't remember the name of it, but when Cal and Daisy get to go on like a little date, and she's being duplicitous, but like he's like trying to take her around town and get some ice cream. And it was like the first time where, and I talked about this on that episode, but the first time where that sort of cheesy dad quality that he's always had was separate from his madness and his rage. And it just stood alone as like just this really guy who has a lot of affection, and just a lovely guy. And so once I saw that, my empathy for the character really opened up. So it colored my experience of the rest of his arc. So the fact that he gets to end his story as just a really nice veterinarian in a quaint place is really nice.
And you clocked, he said magical place.
No, I didn't. I did not. Son of a gun.
He called it a magical place. Tony, the chat is really excited. Jonathan called it out. You just called her Daisy, and she calls herself Daisy. And I think it's fine that we can finally fucking call her Daisy. The hardest thing about this podcast, Tony, for 2 years has been calling this woman Sky. Every single person who comes on this podcast, I have to say, don't forget to call her Sky. Call her Sky. Her name's fucking Daisy, and I think it's time we can call her Daisy.
Great. Because it has killed me every time I've been on that I'm like...
Tony, aside from Ward being Hydra, this has been the biggest struggle of this podcast, is calling.
Oh my God. Ian, is this true? Has it been really, really hard?
Yes.
Oh my God.
I'm
and
like,
not
what
just
name
for
do you
Ian,
use?
everybody. And like this season, I've texted people. So even though we know she's Daisy from the comics, we're still calling her Sky. Like like every single week, this has been the challenge. So
All
you
right.
Daisy. So we're calling her Daisy from now on. That's her fucking
Okay,
name.
cool. I mean, I'm sure I'll slip up a few times. You know I will. But yeah, Daisy. She said Daisy.
Yeah, and that is like we'll get to that in season 3. Like there'll be some Sky residuals, but she's Daisy. Her name is Daisy.
Okay.
Yeah. It feels
Wow.
good that like truly there are like other spoilers, of course, like things that happen, but you have over the hump of the 2 biggest things now.
Because like
Okay.
hard to talk about the shows in context. We're like, how do you talk about Grant Ward without being like, yeah, he's high, like that is him.
Yeah.
And for like with her, it's like she is Daisy, that's her name. So it's really hard to like put in context without having those yeah.
No, and I hear Jamie engineering questions during the podcast to people like you and just being like, at this point in the show, Ian, what were your thoughts? Like, you know, it's I know you guys have got to bend a little bit for my lack of knowledge.
It's a delicate balance for sure. Okay, so there's a lot going on in this big little ending for the characters. When Bobby says, "I can't do this anymore," Tony, how'd you interpret that? Is she?
I was wondering. I can't do this anymore. The job. I can't do this anymore with you, Hunter. I can't. I don't know what she means. My first thought was, I can't do the job anymore. But then, I think what I'm coming around on is, I can't not be with you. I can't do this anymore in the sense that, when she's had this near-death experience, she does not want to continue to play this will they won't they game with him. I think she just wants to be with him. So I think that's what I've landed on. We'll see how I do.
Cool. Great. And then Ian, what are your thoughts on May leaving to go kind of rediscover herself in the world?
He's what's his face says something at the end. And I can't remember what he said, but I was like, you're right, she does. Something about like she deserves.
Yeah.
And I was like, she does. I mean, May's my favorite. So I'm like, yes, give her a break. Like she's been fighting for her life. She's had this woman who had her face on. Like, especially, I feel like there's like certain season where May has it extra rough. And this is one of those seasons. So I'm like, yeah, give her a vacation. Let her get drunk. Let her smoke some weed. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't picture
let her fuck her ex-husband.
Yeah.
Her hot ex-husband. Like,
yeah.
Tony, do you think she's coming back? Is she gone forever?
No, that's it. We won't see Ming-Na Wen in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. anymore. That's my firm prediction right now.
Okay. Great. Good. Very smart. I hope you're wrong. Okay. Did you get a little sad when you realized that Coulson can't drive? He can't drive Lola.
Oh, I didn't realize that was what was happening. I was like, wow, he's letting Scott go. Oh, fuck, you're right. Oh, I didn't realize it. I didn't
even pick up on that either. And I've watched this and I was just like, oh, she can drive now.
I just thought it was like, yeah, that is sad. I hope he gets his Luke Skywalker hand really soon so he can drive Lola and fly her around.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, and then Mac is put in charge of the alien artifacts, and Tony, you laughed so hard at this.
It was the best comedy cutaway I've seen on this show. They were like, he's like, Mac doesn't want anything to do with this alien stuff. He's like, well, that's why I put him in charge. Cut to Mac. We're not opening this door in 1,000 years. Cut back to them. Like, it was just so. This cutaway to that scene was not even a scene. It was just for a bit. It was just for a little joke, and it slayed me. Just the intensity of Mac now being in charge of shit that he's terrified of, and Fitzsimmons in there trying to do work on it. I loved it. That was great.
I got to shout out to Frosted Robot for saying Coulson can't play guitar either, because we love when anyone can make fun of Lindsay. We're making fun of Lindsay or having a good day. Oh god, people love to get their hands chopped off, Okay, there's something that I want to talk about that it's kind of a spoiler, Tony, but I don't care. I'm going to talk about it anyway.
I trust you.
And it is the fish oil. which is a cool thing to show the fish eating the fish oil. And so before I get into what I want to get into, what do you think is going to happen with those pills?
Okay, so I mean, they show what I think it's very, very similar to the final sequence at the end of the movie Contagion. Your favorite director, Steven Soderbergh. At the end of that movie, they show the origin of the contagion that plagues everybody over the course of the movie. So like they show you how it happened, and it's like a wet market, and it's like these bats, and it's like this the guano, and it's like it was that, and then so. It was very similar. It was edited similarly, and I was like, "Yeah, we are going to infect a certain amount of people with the crystals." So, yeah, I think I just thought it was what the show was telling me it was like it's going to be an epidemic.
So, when this aired, when I assumed that all these pills. If you take it and you're an inhuman, you're going to become an inhuman. If you take it and you don't, you're going to die, right?
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh fuck, that's fucked up. But then when the new season starts, that's not what happened. Like if it only affects, I'll just tell you, the Inhumans. And then like it's some kind of like it's been molded down enough that if you're a regular person and you take it, you're fine. But it bothers me that they don't really address that could have been a concern, because I thought that's what this season was ending on. Like, oh shit, yeah. Don't take fish oil, recall the fish oil. But like that was never a thing. Do you remember this, Ian? Did you like having a thought like this?
I was like, I feel like I remember thinking this was going to be a big deal, and it was not a big deal. Is what I thought when I watched this. Like I couldn't even remember. I remember them not doing what I thought. Like I thought this was a huge, but it's not that big of a deal. Yeah.
I mean, it's a big deal in terms of like inhuman ways, but like it's not a threat to non-inhumans.
And it feels like a threat when they end it that way.
And it's fine that it's not. It's just weird that the episode, like the way this ends, makes you think that's what's happening. And I think it's a little odd that it
like isn't. We didn't need that kicker, because the kicker makes it seem like you should be like really concerned. But like you don't need to be, right? Because it's just like if you're a human, you get your powers. Cool.
Yeah. I mean that's its own set of problems, I'm sure. Right. I would assume.
Not as bad, but the worst is millions of people are turning into rocks.
I have to assume, Tony, that's what you thought when you watched it. Yeah, exactly. Okay, that's why I just wanted to get it out of the way, because I don't want you to wait a bunch of months for something that you like, because I that's always really bothered me. So I'm just getting that checked off. That's my big thing. Ward.
Oh, the poor boy. The poor boy. Oh,
we both, Ian, Tony, when the bartender's like, did she walk out on you? And he goes, she drowned with her lungs filled up with blood. Tony and I laughed for like 30 seconds straight.
It's like, but tell him how, Ward. Tell him how.
Yeah. Whose fault was it, Ward? Who was it Melinda May? Was it Coulson? Was it S.H.I.E.L.D. in general that killed Kara, made her lungs fill up with blood, drowned? Oh, he sucks so much. And what has he got, a biker gang now? Fuck him. This is so stupid.
Ward sucks.
I want to know if the main henchman that he was talking to, who has like what is it? We just
Cerberus.
Cerberus neck tattoo. That's a sick tattoo, and I wonder if that guy is like a real tattoo, or if they put that on this man.
You can only be have a tattoo like that if you're a big old boy like that guy. Like you gotta have a thick neck chest in order to pull that off. That was great.
So it seems as though he's trying to like reform Hydra.
No, he's starting a biker gang.
Okay, great.
Ward loves a hijinks, and he's up to some hijinks.
Fair. And no one has any other thoughts.
He fucked Ward. We said it.
Yeah, great. And then the ending, the moment, arguably like one of the biggest cliffhangers you're ever going to get on this show in terms of a season finale moment. I would say the only thing that maybe comes close to season 4, but even that, this is the cliffhanger. It's so sweet. He asks her on a date. She doesn't really get it at first. And then she gets fucking sucked into this monolith. Who knows what that means? Is she dead? Is she alive? Where is she? Is she in that rock? But Tony, you said, God damn it, what about their date?
I did, yeah. Am I to believe, though, that in the midst of Fitz's awkward date invitation that he leaned on the thing and unlocked it? Because there was a click. Ian, is that what happened?
I was wondering that too, because I never noticed that before. And I was like, wait a minute, did he do that?
So that's ridiculous if that's what happened. If it was him, because like I don't want to think that she got sucked into a alien monolith because Fitz was flirting. Like, is he accidentally whoopsie daisy a lot? That's a little silly if that's what I'm to believe.
I'll be honest, I've never thought about it before, but I think maybe that's what happened.
Well, I don't like that.
Tony, I heard that noise and I didn't, when I watched the show through, like, it was just like, oh, the thing swallowed her. But this time around, Tony, I noticed that too. I was like, wait, there was a noise, like just a little like vague click noise. And it's like, oh, did he unlock it? I hate that.
Are people in the comments saying things?
Yeah, Salty Shield Stan says that apparently the lean wasn't scripted and Ian added that. But if he added that, like, how did it get, like, they have
well, then the sound design team added the laugh sound.
Yeah, and that's what happened. But and I think they're agreeing that that's probably what happened. But anyway, that moment's just, it looks good. Like and in the history section, I'll talk a little bit about it because like that. In fact, I'll just jump to it right now because it's pretty dope. But Mark Kolbach, who we love, season 3, hopefully we can get him on. I haven't even tried yet, but I would like to. Says that Elizabeth Hensters was dragged away from camera on a small sled, which is cool. And then Houdini FX used to stimulate the liquid weapon around her, which is just very neat. It's just a really good cliffhanger, and it looks awesome. It's a great way to end a season.
It looks
it's
really
so
cool.
Fast.
Yeah.
It's like I like, oh, the cliffhanger is the rekindling. Oh fuck, she got ate by a monolith. Like that's fun.
And that's the third of the 3 super iconic things from this episode. I think like that shows up on my like. Jamie has ever showed up on my Instagram Discover page will show like this girl gets swallowed by an alien and it's that clip. And I'm like, but it's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. What do you like?
Yeah.
I've even had it show up on like from horror pages where it's like, look, this like monster alien eats this girl. And it's like, this is Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
That's pretty funny. I haven't seen that, but like it is scary. Poor Gemma. They were finally going to go on a date. These 2 can't catch a break. They just can't. Before we pick our MVPs, did anyone have anything else about the episode that we didn't cover?
No.
Well, great. Tony, do you have an episode MVP?
It's tough, but it's gonna be Kyle MacLachlan for the moment where he kills the love of his life.
Yeah, Ian, do you have a answer?
I think I'm gonna go with Kyle MacLachlan as well. With a caveat, sometimes I do think on this show, he's acting like he's in a different show. I enjoy him. I love Kyle MacLachlan, but I think sometimes he's doing like Twin Peaks, but in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Like he feels like so campy sometimes. And like Tony, I hated the makeup that they give him when he like.
I didn't like it either. Yeah, but they chilled out on it in this episode.
Yes, this episode in particular, I'm like, okay, it's fine here. I don't mind it. But I still give him MVP because I feel like he gets a lot of good beats. And especially saving Daisy and killing Jiang.
I like that he's over the top and campy because this is a comic book show. But he was my choice too. But in my notes, I did write that his neck veins were especially the MVP. Like they really like the makeup of those neck veins were crazy. But crazy. He's my MVP as well in this finale. Love to see it. Let's see. Jumping ahead to some history. What do we got here? When the effects for cutting off Coulson's arm, a faux arm was made of tripe wrapped around a chicken thigh to give effect of the arm being cut off. And then for the subsequent scenes, obviously Clark Gregg's wardrobe had to be altered to not have an arm. So that's pretty interesting. We've got some more like quotes and stuff, but we're almost out of time, and I do want to kick Tony out. So we'll do our last art initiative poster. Ends with Joshua Budich. He's an artist. This is just kind of like what you expect, right? Like a basic
traditional.
Here are all our major players. from the season. I think it's a cool poster. It's it's similar to the one that I had that I don't have anymore. And this is it. I don't think they do the initiative again. I think this is the end of the poster per episode thing, which sucks because I love this.
Yeah, it's great for our show.
This was like a little bit of a influence for me in doing Slayer Fest covers for every episode. I always think of it as like comic book covers, but then I loved that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. did this for every episode. I mean, in the first 2 seasons, but like I loved that so much, and I would always be like excited to see what the posters were. Because some of it, like we said, this one is cool. I like it too. It's like pretty traditional, like all the characters are there, but like sometimes they'd be like especially like weird or like more, I don't know, more like less like upfront about what it was, more like cool art. I don't know. And I always liked that.
Yeah. Ian, I know you have a bit of a heart out, but I do have some questions for Tony. If we go like 10 minutes over,
yeah, no, that's totally fine.
Okay, great. Okay, Tony, I do have some questions for you before we kick you out. So first of all, people in the comments are wondering if you ranked the episodes this season. I don't want to hear them now, but do you have a ranking that can be posted later?
I do have a ranking that can be posted later. Maybe we could start. I'm sorry. I don't have a ranking to be posted later. I will.
Okay.
I intend to. So I'll do maybe, if they don't mind waiting, beginning of season 3.
Okay, great.
With my
maybe
season 2
we'll do
ranking.
what we did last year, which is we'll get some of our our frequent guests to everyone share their ranking, and we can all put that out there on the old Instagram. How are you feeling about the show in general, Tony? How does season 2 for you compare to season 1? Or
I'd say pretty. I mean, there weren't like the 2 or 3 best episodes of season 1. I don't think anything in season 2 has hit quite that hard, except I'd have to go back and look at my notes, because I feel like there were 1 or 2 real bangers that I really loved. But hard to say. I think I like season 1 more, but I'm still having a great fucking time.
Great. So you're excited to keep going?
Oh no! I figured I'd quit. Now. Yeah.
Well, I'd be okay, because listen, I've said it many times. Season 3 is my least favorite season. There are episodes. There's an episode in season 3 that many would agree is a top 3 of this series, and that I know you're gonna love. And there are other really good episodes, but the arc itself is my least favorite. But that's okay.
I don't care.
Yeah. Do you? I know Coulson's like your guy, but aside from Coulson, at this point, do you have a favorite character?
Oh, aside from Coulson?
Yeah, aside from Coulson, who's your favorite?
Fitz.
Okay, I like that. At this point, he was my favorite too. Yeah. He was my favorite up until my new favorite showed up in season 5. So I respect that. And finally, my last question for you is: are you hoping? Is there anything you're hoping for in season 3? Like, do you
the old predictions question.
No, I didn't say prediction. I said something you want to see. It doesn't mean it's going to happen, but
I want Fitz and Simmons to just be together on the same page, whatever page that is, for fucking 20 seconds. Like just let them align, and so that they can have that piece of that, because like the whole thing with Fitzsimmons when this show started is they are 2 sides of the same coin. They are finishing each other's sentences. They are one entity, and we have been taken off of, it's been derailed, because of drama and story and science fiction. So now I really just would like to see them, whatever new synergy or old synergy they have, I want to see some synergy between those 2.
Love that. That's great. Ian, before Tony leaves, in case anyone else is leaving with him, where can people find you?
You can find me at Ian X Carlos on all social media platforms. And if you want to follow my podcast, which covers Buffy and Angel and other Marvel things, at SlayerFest X98 on all social platforms. And my horror podcast is at My Bloody Judy.
Beautiful. Tony, say thank you.
Okay, I'll say the thank yous, but I'm not going to do it in this voice you started. Stephanie, thank you. Thank you, Stephanie at Eclectic Muses on socials for doing our artwork. Thank you to Ryan Miera of Yellow Pills at Yellow Pills Music on Instagram for doing our music. Thank you to our producer, Maria. Thank you, producer Maria. No, she can
You're
do it.
welcome. I'm here.
Yeah.
She's here, yay.
Something else too.
Reminder to follow us on the platforms, like, subscribe, all that business. Spend the summer convincing your friends to catch up on the podcast. Listen to the first 2 seasons. You've got until September. And join our Patreon so you can join what's going to be a very exciting summer. If you're watching along with Tony, get the fuck out.
Time for me to leave the room. Thanks, Ian. Bye.
Bye.
Defrosted Robot in the comments is excited for Angel Season 4 coverage to start on Slayer Fest, which I'm also excited about.
I'm excited that I'll have you.
Yes, I can't wait to talk about what a interesting season of television, but we'll put a pin in that. Okay, I do, Ian, have some questions for you, which is first, season 3, do you like, a lot of people in the comments don't agree with me. They think that they really like season 3, and where it's my least favorite. Do you remember where you fall with like, it's, war becoming high?
When you were talking about, I brought it up on IMDb, is the episode that is the highest rated one, is that the one where she comes back?
Or like her on Mavis, yeah, like the episode that's just like all her on Mavis.
Yeah, I do like that episode. I don't remember what the plot is, honestly. Like, I remember how the season ends. And because I remember being like, I don't really feel the emotions I'm supposed to feel about this like thing at the end, right? That happens at the end with Lincoln.
Yeah.
He
goes.
And it's kind of like just a character we needed to get rid of at that point.
Yeah, the most I think emotional episode of the season is when Bobby and Hunter leave.
Is that this season?
Shot. It's season 3. It's like about halfway through season 3. And of course, I don't know if Tony even knows that they were supposed to get a spinoff, and all that business. So we'll wait till we get there. I think Parting Shot is maybe episode like 10 or 11. So we've got to, I think it's like the very end of the year.
I think that's one of the like better goodbyes I've seen, where it's a goodbye that makes sense, but we're not killing the characters. And it makes me cry so much. It's me so too. Good, and I love them. I think it was a bummer to lose them, and I was always bummed we never
for nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
I never understood why, once that show wasn't picked up, why we never brought them back.
Yeah, I agree. And it does, like, it hits more emotionally that we don't. Like, obviously Nick Blood does show up again in season 5, which is really cool to see him again, but we never see Adrian again. It's like it's peak, but it's sad. And then the thing about 4,722 hours is that it's unlike anything on the show that we've seen, and I love that just the big swing that they took with doing that. And that's why it is one of the highest rated. I think that Self-Control in season 4 is hands down the best episode. I think most people would agree that Self-Control is the best episode in season 4, which is basically when Daisy and Gemma are the only non-LMDs and they have to go up against everybody.
I love that.
Yeah,
that whole arc is my favorite thing the show ever did.
Me
love
too.
It so much.
And then like I like silly stuff. So like Fear and Loathing on Planet Kitson and Mac and the the D, the whole Deke Squad stuff. Like those are 2 of my favorites because I like goofiness. Some people don't really like goofiness, so respect. But I like.
I also like. I remember going into the framework since I remember seeing Ward and being like, oh, again. But I was. Oh, I like him in this. Great.
They do a great job. I think it was really perfect.
My biggest issue was like, let's bring Bobby and like bring them back then. Why aren't they there? They should be there.
Yeah.
Like I get why we're not seeing like Avengers, but it's like bring back characters that we have seen on this show.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like people are debating like everyone has different opinions. Some people hate season 6. Some people it's their favorite season. Same with season 5. Everyone has different opinions, and that's okay. That's normal. Like if you like space in the future, cool. If you don't, that's understandable too. That's just the way it goes.
I don't, unfortunately, but season 4 also starts with Ghost Rider, right?
Ghost Rider, yeah.
Because I love that too. Like, I think season 4 oddly, like, because Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. tends to have like one arc than another, sometimes 3. But I think like season 4 kills it with both the Ghost Rider and then the framework. Like, those are 2 of my favorite like arcs.
100%. Gosh, I just love Fitzsimmons, and I love that Tony, like, that's what he wants now, because that's like that we're gonna get it. Like the kiss is coming. I think the kiss is coming in November, maybe. But it's
when she comes back, isn't it?
It's after she comes back, but they have, like, a couple episodes of, she's processing her trauma, and their first kiss is one of my favorites in TV because they're fighting and they kiss in the midst of fighting, and I'm such a sucker for that.
Again, I was a hard sell on them, but then they did sell me. Like once they were together, I was like, okay, I do like this. Like I did like them once they got there.
Yes, 100%. I also want to one other thing to bring up. No, we're so far away, but like the crazy that we're going to find out in season 7 that Jiang had another daughter. And that like in our main timeline, she died, but like because of everything that goes on, they get to save her. And then now Daisy has a sister. And I
don't even remember that. Jesus.
Yes. And in real life, her sister's married to Manny Jacinto, so that woman's really Diane. Fuck, tell me in the comments her name. I can't remember her name right now. And like the fact though that we now know in retrospect that when Jiang went to kill her daughter, she already kind of did this. Like she already let one of her another daughter die, which is kind of crazy. Like I don't remember if she killed her herself, but she let it happen. She didn't stop it, if I recall.
I come on here and I'm like, there's so much of this. Do I even watch this show sometimes?
I know. I've been thinking like season 7 I've seen the least just because it's the most recent, and I'm like, I think I need, before we get to it on the podcast, I think I need to rewatch it on my own so that I have that it's a little more fresh. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Diane Dones, how you say her name, and Kayla's reminding me that Cora, she kills herself, but I still feel like Jiang could have stopped it and didn't. I could be wrong.
It's season 3 when we introduce Yo-Yo.
Yes, yeah. So we get like the Secret Warrior stuff.
The Secret Warrior, it's only like what 3-episode arc.
It's brief.
I genuinely love it, but it's so abrupt, and I do know that like from the interview I did that actor just didn't want to, like he was unavailable and didn't come back. Like they were going to bring him back.
Joey.
Joey, the one gay character.
The one gay guy. Yes, I've said this so many times, but literally when they brought him in, I was like, oh my God, a boyfriend from Mac. And then he immediately got with the new girl. And I was like, oh my God, I've never been so wrong in my life.
Well, and like, me being me, it was like, I really liked that these 2 new additions, one of them was queer. And I liked that they could talk Spanish to each other. Like isn't there like a scene when she goes to like, one of them's in a cell, and I just really I was like, oh yeah, this is my shit. I love this. But then he abruptly leaves the show.
Yeah, it's a bummer. I do love when Yo-Yo called out, I think she called out Daisy when she's like, you're a spy and you can't speak Spanish. Good point, girl. I love Yo-Yo. I'm really excited that we're getting close to Yo-Yo. But I'm also at this point where I'm like, I just want to get to season 4. Like I want the next year to I can't believe though that we're already done with 2 seasons. Like that's crazy to me as well. And I know that you feel that because I was on the first time I was on Slayer Fest, I think was for the 25th anniversary of season 1 of Buffy, and now you're already what is it season 4 that you're on now? So like it's crazy. Time is crazy.
What even is time?
I know. Do you have any final words?
No, just thanks for having me again.
Thank you for being here. Hopefully we'll have you back soon. I don't know, season 3, September. Maybe for a Dollhouse. What are you? I assume you've seen Dollhouse, but are you like a fan?
I've seen it.
Yeah. Okay. Fair. Respect. Thank you again to everybody. The chat was really popping today. I appreciate you guys so much. Thanks again for everyone who's been listening for 2 years now. So insane. Join us on Patreon. If not, we'll see you back here in September. Goodbye.